Florian Fortescue. This name sounds familiar. This was in the books. Oh, yeah, in Diagon Alley, of course. Owner of the ice cream parlor that Harry goes to. Uh, Subject of a ghost plot, a narrative that never made it into the final books. Harry meets him in Prisoner of Azkaban, where he finds out that Florian knows a lot about medieval wizards. Later, Harry discovers that an ex-headmaster of Hogwarts was called Dexter Fortescue. Huh. A relative of Florian, maybe. Right. Okay. Florian is a descendant of Dexter, and I originally planned Florian to be a conduit for clues that I needed to give Harry during his quest for the Hallows, which is why I established an acquaintance fairly early on. At this stage, I imagined the historically minded Florian might have a smattering of information on matters as diverse as the Elder Wand, the Diadem of Ravenclaw, the information having been passed down in the Fortescue family from their august ancestor. August ancestor? What does that mean? As I worked my way nearer to the point where such information would become necessary, I caused Florian to be kidnapped, intending him to be found or rescued by Harry and his friends. Oh, that is so great. The problem was that when it came to write the key parts of Deathly Hallows, I decided that Phineas Nigellus Black was a much more satisfactory means of conveying clues. Florian's information on the diadem also felt redundant, as I could give the reader everything he or she needed by interviewing the Grey Lady. All in all, I seem to have had him kidnapped and killed for no reason. He is not the first wizard whom Voldemort murdered because he knew too much or too little, but he is the only one I feel guilty about because it was all my fault. That is funny. She's clever. So she is blaming herself for this one, but none of the other ones. It's funny that her characters are responsible for their own sins, except this one, she did it for story purposes and then never made use of it. You know what? She says that she could give everything to the reader through the Grey Lady, and that's true, but I don't mind this. I feel like this would have been another interesting thing to tie in so that we're not getting all the information from the Grey Lady, where potentially some of the information comes from the Grey Lady. And I think in general, in that part of the story, we're finding information from some goblins and Ollivander. But then I think when Ollivander was kidnapped, presumably at Diagon Alley, it would be interesting if he was also kidnapped and then Ollivander and him were still together, so Harry could learn some information from Ollivander, either, I guess, at Malfoy Manor in the basement, or maybe even at Shell Cottage later. That would have been a fascinating way to do it, so that there was information coming from multiple places, rather than feeling like it was all summed up in just a few interactions. I think that would have helped make it a little bit more complex in a way that I would have appreciated. But okay, this is kind of cool. I like these little writings, and they're just little snippets. So I'm sure some are a little bit longer, but that's great. I think I'm going to end up working through all of these, but maybe I'll just do a few today. I just want to slowly open this tab